Hello, today I'm going to do a Dutch pour on this 12x16 canvas. I'm using just a few colors here. They're actually just not really colors, but neutrals, just a brown, two different golds, and this taupe base. I do have a previous video where I show how I make this taupe base color, and I will link it in the description. I'm going to try to show the consistency of the paints. I'm also using this white base here, Amsterdam titanium white. So you can see like the paint's very thin. All my paints are mixed 1-to-1 with water. And I also have a paint mixing video, so you can check that out. I'll link it as well if you're interested. So I'm starting out with the taupe color as a base. Kind of reminds me of like melted chocolate ice cream, sort of a fun, yummy color, and I'm going for this slightly different composition than things that I've done in the past. I always like trying new things, but in pouring, often new things don't work, and I just wanted to show a process where I do a lot of troubleshooting. Hopefully that gives you some ideas and is also inspiring. Getting some of the white base and down in the center of the canvas, and I use this little popsicle stick. I'm just so used to using these to like spread my paint. I realized later that I had this nice large spatula that I ordered and just totally forgot to use, but highly recommend these if you don't have one yet. So this is the consistency of the gold, which is Pebeo's iridescent precious gold. This color I think is probably the color that adds the most impact to this pour, just because it's an iridescent color and it adds a lot of shine. I'm going to add brown next. This brown is basically like a Van Dyke brown, and you can use Van Dyke brown from Winsor, Newton, or Amsterdam. I did make this color just using a bunch of different transparent colors, but literally wouldn't make a difference if you just used Van Dyke brown. I'm also using this Winsor and Newton gold. I like to combine different brands of paints, and that's what often creates the cell effects. Again, since I'm only using like a few neutral colors, I wanted to get a lot of cells to add details, to adding a bit of the white over the colors. Again, hoping to get some cell effects. And I'm just going to put like a little bit of the base down that I'm going to blow over the colors with my blow dryer to try to get some cool effects. I'm going to start out blowing with my little mini blow dryer. It only has 1000 watts and gives me more control. And I'm trying to show here the direction I'm going to blow the white over the colors. But first I forgot I have to add a little bit of the taupe base on the other side of the colors, so that there's enough paint for it to all really flow towards the sides. Finally going to start blowing these colors over, like the white over the colors I mean, and just the first little swipe. And then the effects kind of appear over time. You can see little cells starting to pop up as I keep swiping. This is edited. It takes longer than it's showing here in the video because I wouldn't want you to have to sit there for like 10 minutes to wait for all those cells to pop up. Now I'm just going to do the same on the other side. Gently swiping this white paint over the top. I call it a swipe because if I don't want to like just drown the colors in the white, just kind of pushing a little white paint over the top of the colors. And now I'm going to go ahead and torch it, get like little air bubbles to pop. This is a culinary torch, by the way. It's also going to add, sometimes it adds some little pretty fine details, like not really necessarily big cells, but like little tiny sprinkles. It's looking really cool, lots of cool cell effects. I'm going to use my larger Revlon blow dryer now. It has like a wider opening at the base. It blows out a bit softer. And this is when things kind of start to go wrong in this pour. It's pretty and soft and all the cells are gone, which was totally not what I was going for. So I'm using my torch and getting like some like teeny tiny cells to pop up, but all those big pretty cells are gone. I go for the second pass, add some sprinkling of cells with the torch, and it's looking pretty much exactly the same. So I'm going to try with the small blow dryer now. I'm just having fun playing around at this point. I don't have any expectations anymore that this is going to go as planned. So I'm just trying all kinds of different things, and actually even tilting the canvas because I'm just in an experimental mode now. Looking at this now, I think this looks pretty cool, but the thing with pouring is you don't have that perspective because you have this time pressure that the paint is setting. It's hard to really step back and analyze it. Whereas if you watch a video, it feels like you have a lot better perspective and clarity on what you might want to do. So say like, why is she scraping off all this paint now? That was kind of cool. And here I am starting over layering the colors again. One thing I want to point out is that the mood you are in can make such a huge difference. If you're getting really frustrated and you start to feel like you're just making a mess, it probably will start to feel more and more like a mess. Whereas if you feel like, oh, you're just having fun playing around, you'll find things that you like, and basically you're letting your brain have some time to adapt. And the great thing is that you can just keep taking away, like here I took away again, and then you can keep adding. That's why I really try not to scrape an entire piece just because it's not going well. I'm just gonna sort of, see where it leads me. And even here, final little touch up I do, I'm trying to add some gold cells here. But in the back of my mind, I am actually still struggling with the fact that this is not what I originally wanted, and this is so ridiculous when you're pouring. By the way, I did blow on those cells by mouth to just make them a little bit bigger, and it looks pretty cool now. So I'm going to be back with the dried result. Here it is. It actually has some super cool details, lots of nice contrast and a nice flow to it. I'm going to add more contrast and accentuate the gold details with Bayo iridescent gold just because it's such a pretty warm gold. This part's really fun because you can just take a wet paper towel and just wipe it off if you don't like it. And oh, there's pretty shimmer there. So it's very easy to play around with. You just have to keep in mind that it does dry very quickly. So you can just do like little areas at a time, and then you can still remove the paint if you like. So I'm just continue adding gold. I even add some on these cells to make them pop more. And then I add some of the brown to create a little bit of like a shading effect. Create some areas where there's a little more depth. I also use a darker taupe on all the sides and some spots around the edges of the pour where I blend it. I'm terrible at blending, but I use this blending brush. I had to do it over several times, but it was worth it because here is the final outcome. I totally love this piece now. It's got amazing depth and just popping details. I love the flow. I love the cluster of those gold cells. You can see I added some tiny white lines there along with the darker shading around the edges. I think this really helped create contrast and depth in the piece. I really hope this video inspired you, helped you. I hope it doesn't sound like preachy. I'm just hoping people who pour can kind of relate to the struggles. Please let me know what you think in the comments. I would love to hear it. Also, if you put up with my voice in this video, I did get a cold, and basically the whole second part of the video is me talking with a cold. So sorry about that. Thanks for watching again. See you next time. Bye.